which was, I guess you could say it's a normal thing, but anyways. Okay, hold it! What do you mean you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What did I... It's kind of a blur. What I did, whatever. In a matter of just a few seconds, Miss Sky was almost killed. Then even witnessed a murder about to take place. Murder about to take place. A little disoriented is only natural. I saw a man about to stab another person, who I thought was Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? It was brave, yet it was also, like, nearly life-threatening, you could say. Well, let's press for this, then. Here we go. Hold it! Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew the picture of him here. But the head detective of the criminal affairs thought of this hideous beast. And was just about this, and that was just like this year. Well, I fucked up voices, whatever, I fucking don't care anymore. I'm not really feeling well, my brain's kind of like going poopy. Anyways, the blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite, variable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had a nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. And now I finally remember. Oh, brother. Just when you thought the thing had caused enough, commotion. Seriously. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. Huh. Thinking about it. Should I really try to press for it, though? Whatever, let's do it. Hold it! His shadow? So, you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile at all? That's right, but still, remember, I still remember it. He has only 3 creepy horns. Those are... horns? This is pointless. That thing couldn't have been couldn't possibly exist 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. Objection! That may well be. But it's important that important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh? And I'm supposed to have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What Emma was, what was it Emma saw that when the lightning flashed? Who is the Blue Badger really? I might know. The Blue Badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet, she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense belief on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger today. Something that's now sitting in the very courtroom. Mr. Wright! Yep, exactly. In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. Okay. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us the mysterious Blue Badger. Wait. Look-alike, yay. It is... this. Take that! Here we go. The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if there was a change in our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Eh. Eh, 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 eh. Wait. Oh. Oh! I think I figured it out. Something like that, then. Well, it looks like that, I guess. Here we go. Take that! Game changer, baby. Well, is this a miracle or what? Yeah. No one can possibly deny this jar resemblance to the Blue Badger. So, take that. No. It can't be. So exactly as it is, Edgy. It looks just like the Blue Badger. Take that. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Objection! Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So the Blue Badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. Objection! I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's the difference now that we know the witness saw this jar? Edgy poo. Edgy, edgy, edgy poo. The location. Location, and let me say this again. Location. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. Not only that, but she saw it in a very specific angle. Wait, give me a second, I gotta... Had to get a drink of water. Anyways, knowing this, where could she have been, seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in the picture taken the day of the crime. It's the shelf in the office of Damon Gant. Objection! But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Objection! Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office. Objection! Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? And that's exactly why. Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. No. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is there was another reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? Okay. Here we go. I finally figured it. Really? Goddamn it, P-Mate. I love you, but goddamn it, P-Mate. Anyways, I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have set the jar flying? That would have been, that would have to be the impact of the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, If I may draw your attention to the picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would have he hit? The suit of armor holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to been Neil Marshall wielding the prosecutor's award. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There was another possibility of an actual what actually transpired in that room, whatever. Another possibility? Exactly. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually the prosecutor Neil Marshall. Yeah, Emma would have accidentally killed him. But that makes no sense. She wouldn't have enough strength to do that, and he would be on his footing if he's holding the knife, then. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! Oh. Yeah, about that. I never imagined her testimony would have led to this. So the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unpredictable. Objection! What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging the evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, was it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you're hoping to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves that my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Don't underestimate me, Mr. Wright. Touchy, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Mr. Edgeworth, whatever. I mean the possibility that the victim left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I gotta think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. I guess this is evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Sorry, that was the last bit of water, so I gotta finish this off, and then I'll quickly take a break. Hopefully we'll get a break soon. Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. No. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we can seek: the truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys the message from the deceased. Oh, there was only really one thing that actually, out of everything, should be there, and that is this. Take that! This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to speak the killer's name? If that's if that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone forgot this is just a jar. Ugh, I give up. A message was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see the faint trails of blood, blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for someone in the blood of, give me a sec. Bleh. For someone, the blood of some of the fragments were not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used a few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. Once someone apparently wiped away, the blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No! Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave us? Your Honor, I believe the bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I gotta connect these dots to make letters. Alright. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances: the murderer's name. So we're given the chance at least to finger painting. Yay! Okay. And that. That. I think that's all of them. Yep, but it spells out this. Take that! Here we go! It's the defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all of my effort, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may not have mean it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Wait, something seems a little off about that still. See, Worthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. And I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Objection! But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We are merely keepers of the law. Sentence a man to death is no lighter matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-ups or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls upon the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, the fact cannot be denied. What's going on with the prosecutor's office?
They might have sentenced an innocent man to his death.
How can he just stand there like that? Wasn't it his fault? Wasn't it? Order, order, order! Shit, we lost control of the court. The gavel's pounding fell upon the deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Alright, so we finally get a chance to take a break. I'm allowed to at least go to sleep and try to get well soon. Hopefully, wish me luck on that. But we got really far. We're at least getting close to the end game, the true one. We can tell that the evidence somehow was even forged further, or something like that. I don't know what. But for now, we'll leave it at here. So, that's all to do for this episode of Phoenix Wright, guys. Thank you very much for at least watching. If you watch these or the other videos, I really highly appreciate it. But this ought to do for this episode. In the next recording session, we're at least going to finally end this series off. I think. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's going to be the end of the series for Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Then we can look forward to the sequel to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. What was it? Justice for All. Yeah. I actually played a little bit of that game off of the DS. I really did enjoy the sequel. And the next one, because I'm now going into Trials and Tribulations for the DS as well. And that game's fun too, so I'm at least trying to get myself up to date to most of the Phoenix Wright games. I've even tried to, I'm planning on getting the Edgeworth game, because that looks pretty cool too. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys very much. If you like these other videos, like, comment, and if you are new to the channel and you did enjoy my commentary, or anyone that's actually a part of this, well, the friends of mine that actually usually join into the commentaries, consider subscribing. Well, this ought to do it for this episode. So until then, this has been Shin Nogawa. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Till then, bye bye. Yeah.